and welcome to this Wednesday upload. My name's Nicola if you're new here. If you're not, welcome back. This is Mark, my husband. You will know him from his welcome back.
Welcome back.
And today we're doing a bit of a special Fibro section. I'm recording an interview with Mark. Well, it's not an interview, but it's just
like mastermind.
Yeah. Let me sit back a bit, because otherwise I'm going to keep looking back at you and not to the side of you, if you see what I mean.
See what you mean.
See what you mean. Right, so I asked all my subscribers if they had any questions for Mark, and I've written them all down in the trusted notepad.
Trusted notepad.
Trusted notepad. And we should get stuck right in, because I think it's quite a lot of people have been interested in hearing Mark's side of things on the fibromyalgia and, you know, living with someone like me. So the first person is Sandra, and Sandra asked, have there been any times that you have thought, oh no, not again, if only I could have a break?
No.
And you could be perfectly honest.
No, I wouldn't say that, no. There's been times where it's frustrating, but I'd never say that, because I've always said to you, I can sympathise, but I can't understand what you're going through, because it's not me going through it. But yeah, no, I'd never say I think that, no. I'd say more frustration than anything else. More frustrated.
Yeah. Erin asked, was there ever a time in the beginning that you questioned this ailment? So not me, but the actual fibro.
I wouldn't say questioned it, but because it has and always and still is a grey area, isn't it, fibromyalgia? People will still. But no, I'd never. No.
You didn't question whether it was real or not?
No, I'd never heard of it before, but I wouldn't say I ever questioned it. And obviously, in time, you get to know what it's all about. But no.
I know, we didn't know what it was at first, did we? There was...
No, it's very hard at the start, because it was,
tests and
like
things.
you say, all very new, wasn't it? And
yeah.
no one really knew. I mean, a lot of people, consultant-wise and that.
Even the GP though, my old doctor, he said, well, you shouldn't have that, you're too young for that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter what age you are, you can still get it, you know. Now I'm hoping I'm going to say this right. Talisa, is that right? Talisa,
yeah, I'd say Talisa.
Talisa asked, how did you gather an understanding of fibro and how best to support Nicola?
Oh, good question. Gosh, it's a bit tough for a Sunday morning.
Yeah, we're filming this on a Sunday morning. So how did you gather an understanding of fibro, probably through me, and how best to support me?
Yeah, I think, like you say, the actual understanding of it was quite slow, because obviously it was very new.
Yeah.
And like for you, obviously going through it, that was the best way I could understand it, really. I mean, that's the only way you can understand it, if someone's going through it. And then supporting wise, that's just something that... Trial
and error, I guess, isn't it?
That's just something that comes in time, really. It's quite a hard one, because everyone's got their own way, like for you, dealing with it. If you're in a flare, or you sort of learn now not to sympathise with you, but because it's very hard for you, I always hear and ask and make sure you're alright. But like you say, it's better for you just to be quieter, and if you don't talk to people, or I just make sure you're alright and you get through it in your own way.
Because I'm quiet.
Yeah,
you always say that.
You get through it in your own way, and.
But you are very supportive, aren't you? I know I'm very lucky, because like Mark will always text me when he's at work. He'll always check up on me and make sure I'm okay. If I'm not okay, you know, he'll say the right things. Like, you know, he's there, he's thinking of me, you know, that sort of thing. What else can you do but support your other half, you know? And my dad said something yesterday, because my mum has arthritis and she's now got a stoma bag, and she's got to have a knee replacement, so she goes through a lot of pain. And Dad said, you know, if he feels that if he could take some of that pain away from her, he would. And I know Mark feels the same way. Plus, you're better at coping with pain than I am.
Well, so it's not, you know, everyone's different, isn't they?
Mind you, I've probably got a lot better at it than I was. Do you ever get fed up with me moaning, or would you rather know how I'm feeling and why?
I'd always know, or rather know how you're feeling. I'd never say I get fed up. Like I said before in the first one, frustration more than anything else. But never get fed up. Definitely.
You don't think, oh God, here we go again?
No, I wouldn't say that. I say,
because that's how I feel.
I think that'd be quite harsh to say that. I'd say more frustration more than anything else. But I do see where they're coming from with that. But you can get fed up sometimes, I suppose, just with, like you say, it's like we said before, you can't plan anything properly. No. And like you say, if you make arrangements, or sometimes it can change, and that's all part of. And
it's like going on holiday and things, isn't it? Like you can book the holiday, and you can plan the things, but you never know how you're going to be. Away
with family, and especially Ange and Simon, they're very good. You know, if we go away, they understand that. Like sometimes, one day if you're having a bad day, you might not want to come out, and at the start I found that hard because I didn't want to go out with. But if we went with the girls, like you'd say, it's better to take the girls out.
Much rather
you'd much rather out. You'd feel better. You wouldn't want to. But like I say, with Ange and Simon as well, if we go away with them, they're very understanding. But it takes a lot for friends and family to start to understand things like that, because
it's invisible as well.
For us, it's 24/7. But for other people, it's, you know, and like you say, it's invisible as well. And
well, you can't see it. Like you look at me now and you think,
well, yeah. And
you're fine.
That's frustrating for you.
Oh, that's the worst. Worst thing that someone says. Oh, you look well, and you think, shut up.
Yeah.
But it's because you can't see it. I mean, sometimes you can see it. Like if I'm on a flare, I look terrible, and you've seen that through the weeklies. And Mark obviously sees how I am the most because he's always with me.
In the evenings is the worst, isn't it?
In
the mornings.
So you get a glimpse of it, but more than other people would. But it is hard for other people to understand. If I had fibro when we met, do you think you would still want a relationship?
I don't see any reason why not, because it wouldn't change your personality. It doesn't take away.
We met at a pub, didn't we?
Yeah.
I was with someone else at the time. But if I rocked up in a wheelchair or something, would you still?
That's irrelevant, really. I think.
Yeah.
That's if you're the sort of person to look at that and be discriminative, then that's your fault. But to me, it wouldn't take away who you are or the personality. No, definitely not. Like you said. No. Did you answer that?
How do you feel on my flare days, especially if you're not here? Because you're at work.
Beep. Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, it's not very nice. So.
And I've been having some pretty bad flare-ups lately.
Yeah, it's very frustrating to be obviously at work and that, and then knowing you're here, struggling. But yeah, lately has been, like you say, quite bad for flares. But we've had a lot going on at me in that. But
yeah,
I know, like I say, through communication, that texting or phoning, you always know you can ring me or And we're lucky we've got a very supportive family as well. So if you ever did need.
That's just the air freshener going off, if you can hear that.
If you ever did need help, I know that there's always going to be someone close by to be there, sort of thing.
But then you're also good, like he'll be doing, Mark will leave for work sort of 5 o'clock in the morning, and he won't get in till say 6, 7 at night, and he'll still then go and cook dinner and do all that. So, you know, I'm very lucky there, because not everybody would have someone that does that. But if I'm on a flare, you know, you try and do everything you can, don't you?
Yeah.
And you know, see, that's the other frustrating thing, because like Mark's been at work all day, and then he'll come in and I'm literally have some dinner and go to bed, because that's all I can do. You know what flares are like, for those of you with fibromyalgia, and they're not nice, and the way I deal with it is just to go to bed, because I don't know whether to scream, shout or cry. And the other thing I do is communicate with Mark, don't I? So I tell you exactly how I'm feeling. Like last week's flare up, I said I felt like I was dying. That's just how you feel. It's just awful, awful. And you know, if I can try and explain it a little bit to Mark, and the pain, sometimes I explain like, oh, it's like I'm being stabbed in the foot, or it's like someone's stamping on my foot. It's, you know, trying to explain that feeling so you've got a better idea of it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you regret that I can't work?
Only for yourself.
Yeah.
Not in the fact that for any other reason, but I know it's one of the biggest things for you, isn't it? Having to give up, that was one of the hardest things for you, wasn't it? To give up your work and that.
Yeah, still is.
So I don't regret it from my point of view, but obviously I regret it for you because obviously you loved it, and that's a big, or I'd say probably the biggest and hardest part for you to have dealt with. It took you a long time to deal with that, didn't it?
Yeah.
But obviously.
And I still have nightmares about it now.
Yeah, but I know we both talked about it. I mean, you know, like I said to you, you just can't do it, and we get back to being the invisible disease again. But anyone with fibro, especially with your severe type of fibro, you can't possibly work. And
you don't know how you know you're
no one's going to employ you.
No
one's going to employ you when you say, "Oh, I'm really interested in this job, but I have fibro, and I can only do 2 hours one day or 4 hours another day, and some days I might not be in." No employer's going to.
No one wants you.
It's nothing against you. It's just you can't. And it is wrong, but that is what fibro and ME does to you, unfortunately, and it's
exactly.
So, like I say, I know that has been the toughest part.
Yeah.
For you.
Work
to deal with
massive.
Work-wise, because obviously you loved your work.
And I just feel guilty, especially on my good days. Like if I have a good day, and I'm sitting here, or you know, I've gone out and done something, and I know Mark's slaving away at work, and then you know he comes in and I'm really shattered, but I haven't been at work. I feel the guilt. The guilt is terrible.
You shouldn't feel any guilt.
I know, but I do. That you can't help it. And you think, well, you know, maybe I could have gone out and worked that day, but like you say, who's going to employ someone?
Yeah, until, like I said before, until you go through it, you can't understand it. And anyone that's shallow enough to, you know, like you have on your channel sometimes, people that show their opinion on your comments, they haven't got a clue. And I hope they never have to go through it themselves.
About 1% of my
yeah, I know, no, yeah, I'm not saying no.
The majority of you are all lovely.
I didn't mean like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
yeah, no, I get the odd one that I just go delete.
I'm a firm believer in karma. So.
Yeah. Do you wish there was more support for husbands or partners of fibro sufferers? Like, I've just recently joined a fibromyalgia group, a local one, and they meet up once a month. I'm going to meet up next month with them. Do you wish there was something like that for you, or even online? Or
I wouldn't say it's something that I've ever really thought about, I must say.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I think men are different that way. I don't know.
You don't think
it's me? It's just
you don't think you'd get something
sort of
out
of not suffer in silence, but I think you can deal with it in your own way, didn't you?
Maybe you should start your own group up on Facebook.
I've got plenty of time for that, haven't I?
No, just Facebook, like for people.
I can see where, you know, maybe a bit of communication. If people, you know, especially if other partners of people that have it might need support, I can definitely agree that would definitely help someone that's, you know, if people haven't got, you know, some people haven't got the family or the close friends that can help, and that in that respect, I'd always want to be there for people that would want a bit of maybe online support or something. Yeah, that's definitely something that I think would, if there's people out there that are struggling with trying to support that person, yeah.
I think like
there's definitely not enough thing out there for fibro. like I said earlier, it's still a very grey area, and there's still, unfortunately, a lot of people.
I think there's more for the people that suffer with the fibro
Yeah.
rather than like you that suffer
I think
with.
that's the case with any illness, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, if someone's, for instance,
True.
unfortunately has got cancer, or I think you're always going to be there for the person that's suffering, but the person that is caring for that person will just do it their own way, I think.
Do you get? Oh, well, we've already covered this. Do you get frustrated with me or the fibro or both?
I wouldn't say I get frustrated with you. I get frustrated with fibro, obviously.
You do get frustrated with me if I do too much.
Oh yeah, that's definitely, yeah.
I walked too far yesterday and I'm suffering.
That goes without saying. Well, that's what you said to me last night, isn't it?
I know.
You go home, Mum, if Mike was here, he wouldn't have let me go that far.
No.
I know you want to do stuff and that, but sometimes you got to look ahead and go, okay, because last night you weren't very good, were you?
No.
You got to think that later on this evening I'm going to be in pain or suffering even more. So, but I do understand
the frustration for me as well.
You want to do it, yeah.
How did you feel when we got the diagnosis? Because we didn't. Do you remember the rheumatologist that was horrible?
Yeah, he was horrible. Yeah.
And told me just to go away basically, and then
I think God.
It was the pain clinic that
went
diagnosed
into.
me, wasn't it?
I don't know. Just went into.
Did you feel like a relief that we had an answer or not?
It took a long time, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think because like you said at the start, because obviously you were working for quite some time with it and that, and it's like you said, no one was listening to you. No one believed what you were saying. And that was the biggest frustration for us at the start, wasn't it?
Everyone just kept saying I was too young.
Yeah. So yeah, there was that relief to it because then we could get on with life and deal with it in the way that we have done.
What frustrates you about other people's opinions regarding fibro?
Probably just the invisibility of it, really. Just
And the lack of
the
knowledge.
fact that you say, everyone says, oh, you look so well, and like you've always said to me, and when I see people, I say to them, the best way you describe it to me is that you've got flu 24/7. And if anyone can imagine that, obviously it's a horrible thing to have. So yeah, it's just the naivety of people with it, really. Just like you say, if we want to go out for a day, and you want to by sort of 2-3 o'clock you want to come home because you're tired, and people don't really understand.
No.
So yeah, it's that's a bit like we said before, until you do a bit 24/7, but you can't let it get to you, because that's not their fault, because they have their life and that's what they're used to. They wouldn't.
They're just,
No, it's no one's fault.
ignorant to it.
Yeah,
because they haven't had it.
Yeah, it's like anything. It's it's like if you've got a child or that's got a disability or anything like that, unless you sitting in there,
you wouldn't
sat
know.
in their shoes for a day, you wouldn't know. No.
How do you see our future? In our little bungalow.
Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere, are we? But yeah, I can see us having a nice life here and that, and just doing what we're doing now. Really, just carrying on.
We
and
did
making the most
say
of.
we want to travel more.
Yeah, we're starting to
we?
hopefully travel more, aren't we? The next couple of years. Now the girls are a bit older, and obviously they're not as
dependent.
That's it, dependent on us as they have been. But yeah, definitely travelling more.
Yeah.
We're tending to do, because I work so long hours and that, we're making the most of the weekends that I'm off.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Going places, aren't we, which is nice. Just enjoying life, really, yeah. Just
making the most of it.
Making the most of it, because so life is.
Every day's best, as the lodge guys say.
Yeah, but obviously, money is always the factor in things, and if you haven't got it, you can't do things. But yeah, we'll do what we can. Do
you feel resentful that we had to move to a bungalow from our house?
No, I've never felt resentful, because when we had the house, and it was a lovely house, we loved our house, but for me it's always been the right decision. I know that at the start, when we first came here, I knew this was, but I could see it straight away. But then when we moved in, and within a couple of days, for you, it was without the stairs and that was a big game changer, wasn't it?
It was just bliss.
So that made, obviously for me, that made the right
choice. You made the right decision.
It's a lot smaller, and but we've made it our home now, and we love. I certainly love it.
I love it.
I know the girls have struggled here, but unfortunately,
it's adaptation, isn't it?
It's adaptation, and we had to do what we had to do, and yeah, they never regretted it. No.
Do you get cross with me when I do too much?
Oh, yeah.
We've already said that.
Yeah,
haven't
very
we?
much so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't listen. We
No.
do sometimes, but
I do try my best, but it's really hard sometimes to know how to judge it. You know, as a person that, you know, you just want to do everything, and sometimes you can't, and it's hard to judge what you can do and what you can't do, because what you can do one day that doesn't cause a flare up or pain, the next day it might cause that pain. So you don't know yourself. You know. Stephanie's asked, how did you feel the first time Nikki had to use a mobility aid? My husband is very supportive, but sometimes I feel that he might be embarrassed to see me using my rollator, which is a walker.
oh well, yeah, no, I've never felt that way at all, and you should never feel that way either, because obviously you didn't ask to have this illness, disease, so never feel that way. But no, I've never felt that way with Nick. When we go out, when Nick's in the scooter and that, we always get looks because of obviously how young she is to be, but I don't take it to heart. I just brush it aside and carry on. If they're small-minded enough to think that, then that's their own opinion and more for them. But no, I've never been embarrassed or anything like that. No way. You should never feel that way. If you need the aids, then they're going to benefit you and help you. Then yeah, absolutely. Use
I don't
it,
go anywhere without my walking stick.
Yeah, no, walking stick, and the scooter's always in the car. We've got to get it sorted out at the moment, but
Yeah, it's broken.
Don't be ashamed to use what
Wheelchair.
you need. Yeah.
The rollator, like walker. My mum's got that.
Yeah,
at the moment
they're brilliant,
because
mate.
she
Because
needs
so you can sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, never be ashamed to use what you need if it's going to benefit you in your life. No, never.
Bev asked, does Mark see your pain even if you think you're hiding it under the I am fine mask?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's quite an easy one now. I think you can always tell when you live with someone for so long that's suffering with an illness when they're not right. That's just natural to get into you just naturally know if they're suffering or if they're having a good or bad day. Yeah, that just comes naturally, I think, to anyone that's living with someone that's got a disability.
I do tend to tell you most of it, don't I? I say I'm fine more to like friends and family.
Yeah, that's right.
Purely because I can't be bothered to go through it, but also because I don't want them to think, oh God, here we go again.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to feel like this moaning Minnie. But with Mark, he's always said to me that he wants me to be honest, and so I am honest, and I do tell him I don't think I say I'm fine to you when I'm not. So
the only thing I will say is from someone that's obviously not suffering from fibro, if ever I'm feeling poorly or I'm quite quiet and I'm poorly, but I won't tell Nick if I don't have to, because I feel that why should I, because she's going through it every day. So I always try and
but that's
hide
wrong.
it, but
that's wrong.
Yeah, but like you always say, if someone gets a cold or flu or I know. You know, be in your shoes for a day, every day. It's not,
everyone's.
But that's just how
pain
I feel.
And illness is valid. Doesn't matter, you know.
I know, yeah, but like I say, it's just the way.
You've always been that way, though.
Yeah.
You've always been quiet, but you do tend to tell me, like if you the other day when you felt rough, and I said, right, take this, this, and this, because I think the thing I do is panic, because I know if Mark gets ill, I'm stuffed, because he does so much of the general day-to-day thing in the house or the bungalow, and my support, and if he's not there, then I dread to think it. I always say I want to die before Mark, because I couldn't survive without him. So
but I do think that though, like I said, I think probably a lot of your viewers, subscribers, partners will probably feel the same. If they do feel poorly, they will find it hard to say, because, well, that's only my own personal view, but I just think that if someone's suffering every day, day in, day out, then for you to have sniffle or a sore throat or whatever, then
You feel like
right,
it's,
yeah,
you know.
but that's just my
But it's not.
opinion. So.
The last question is there anything you wish you knew more about with fibro? So is there anything like that you are unsure of that you would like to know more about? Like pain relief or why it's caused, or
I think the cause of it's always sort of thingied me, because like you say, you know, it's obviously trauma was with you, it's trauma to the
trauma
to the
and
body,
illness,
wasn't it? An illness, and I think, like I say, just in a matter of a heartbeat, maybe went away to Florida and obviously you felt a bit poorly them 2 weeks, and then to come back and life changes like that, didn't it?
Mhm.
So I know people say if you have an illness or you know life can change, so cliche, but make the most of it while you can, eh? But
there's
no,
nothing else
I think you do.
I do a lot of research, as you see.
You know, as all your strong, you do a lot of research.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time. So there's not much that you don't know.
That I don't tell you.
Yeah, so I think I'm pretty clued up on it, and I'd definitely have a disagreement argument with anyone that tries to poo-poo it, that's for sure.
Mm.
So, yeah. But like I said before, until you can walk in them shoes for 24/7.
No, exactly. You don't know. It's the same
Anyone
with
that tells you
anyone's
otherwise,
life,
you
really,
can
isn't
have
it?
to do one.
Yeah, it's the same with anybody's life. You
Yeah.
don't know who's suffering and who's going through what.
Like people
Everyone's
say,
got their own
Yeah, just be
problems.
kind. Just be
Yeah,
kind every
be
day.
kind.
Just-
That's right. Anyway, thank you for that. We've been meaning to record this for ages, but we've managed to fit it in on this Sunday morning.
Not watching this back.
You're fine.
Good night.
Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this this little interview with Mark. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you've not done already, and leave a nice comment. Let me know, are you going to play this to your husband, partner, wife? Let me know, and I will see you all on Saturday for the weekly. Take care.